Hi, and welcome to Wrong Way. And today we're going to talk about 21 accessories or gear for electric unicycle riders. So let me tell you more about it. Wrong Way. So in this video, I have my room full of stuff here. We will talk about stuff that is in general useful for people that ride electric wheels. I'll try to make this video as short and punchy and information-packed as possible. The things I will mention in this video are in no particular order, maybe just grouped a bit, so we go from typical EUC accessories to some gear towards the end, and so on. With that said, some of those things I got for free, some of those have affiliate links or coupon codes. Before explaining a certain product in this video, I'll make sure to disclose that before I describe it. Let's get it started. And the first thing is the Firesak. Now, this is a big bag to protect your home from a electric unicycle fire. Now, depending on which EUC you have, there is a bigger likelihood to have that, or no, even Kingsong, but that was doing riding. But nevertheless, it's always good to have some sort of additional safety when keeping these huge batteries at home. So this bag was sent to me for free. I do not have any affiliations yet with this company. This company was started by Ryan from Ginger on Wheels. Firesak is also making additional videos to show that they actually would suppress a fire from 2 packs of Gotway batteries. This was just like published yesterday or today. In general, it's just a thing where you would put your EUC inside when you're traveling, or you can just like, put it over the EUC while you have it at home. And then if something were to happen, you can just grab by those straps on this side here, and you can yeet this thing outside. So a pretty cool idea, especially for those of you who are traveling with an EUC in a car. The Firesak ranges from $130 to $150 depending on the size. There's 3 sizes: small, medium, and large. So depending on what EUC you have, you can select the right Firesak for you. At this price, especially if you have a Bigot wheel at home, I will probably consider getting one of those. Number 2 on the list is a smoke alarm. And I don't know why I start this video off with things that will maybe scary a bit, but it's better to be safe than sorry, right? So I have a smoke alarm right over my electric unicycles. It's just like an audible alarm, very cheap, but you can get one of those that are also Wi-Fi connected. Probably I'll get one of those to just make sure that if something happens, you are notified and you can do something about it. Again, not to say that EUC fires are common, but just like with insurance, you want to be on the safe side. Number 3 on this list is pretty trivial, but you can't live without the pump. Well, you can go to a gas station and pump up your EUC there, but it's very useful just to have a pump at home. Now, this is my regular pump I bought at Lidl for like a discounted price, but you can also get one of those, Xiaomi pumps or whatever Speedy Feet is selling, because they are just more portable. I just have this at home. The Xiaomi pump, at least the thread broke on me, so that's why I'm using this. Anyways, it's important to monitor the pressure in your EUC. Typically, it's around 30 to 45 psi. If you ride at a very low pressure, it's easier to damage the rim or have a flat tire. Possibly, if you have a bit more difficult access to your valve, you can also get one of those. This is a valve extender. And then it's easier to get access to the valve. Also, I forgot to say, all of those things that I mentioned in this video are linked below in one form or another. If I can't find the exact thing that I'm showing, then I'll show you a pretty similar option of that. So make sure to check out the links below to find the stuff I'm talking about in this video. Next thing I wanted to show you guys is this Thorium backpack. And this is a Swedish backpack. And the special, this zipper is just so hard to close. That's one thing I don't like about it, is that by using this magnetic thing here, you can put it here and you have lights. So it has lights both on the straps and also an additional red light in the back. Now it's really cool, and I think that's a very cool option. However, this backpack is pretty expensive. and I don't know honestly if it's worth the price. I think that the lights are really great on it, but for me it just doesn't work so well with the backpack function, with this, you know, thing here, the zipper being very tight, and in general the compartments inside are just like, I mean, there's another compartment that you can put in and you can store your laptop in there, but I don't like the general feeling of the rubber in here, and yeah, I just usually when I put my hand in, it just not that comfortable with those straps. And it also it's very waterproof because it has this so almost like waterproof zipper, and then to close it fully you can access this valve and then get smaller. So yeah, it looks really cool. I love the lighting aspect of it. Would I get one? Probably too expensive. It's available, a link below. Shift7 sent me out this one just to check out. Yeah, this is the 4-light Illumine backpack, if you want to get one of those. Staying with the topic of backpacks, here's number 5. This is my Boblbee backpack. I got this used off of Aliexpress, which is a sort of like an eBay here in Poland. This is still called the Boblbee Megalopolis, I think, but now it's called the Point65 Boblbee GT or GTX backpack. So these are also pretty expensive, right? Ranging from like $200, $300 and up. But these backpacks do have a hard shell on the back, and as you can see here, protected me many times against falls. So this is the 25-liter version, and it's relatively spacious, and you can even like expand it. So this is one of the only backpacks where really easily a helmet, like a full-fledged motorcycle helmet, fits in. And in general, the quality is nice, but with this one, maybe because it's like an older one already, it's a bit ripped and torn apart. It's a bit of a heavy backpack, so you will feel it on your back, but especially for like faster riding, it's pretty cool to have one of those. And pretty much at this point, you can also take out the back protector of your jacket because this acts as a back protector. I've also made a separate video about it, so go check it out. Quite a well-known accessory or gear in the electric unicycle world. Number 6 on the list is none other than the Insta360 ONE X2 camera. Now, if you want to document your rides, if you want to show how cool you are while riding off-road or just gliding through the city, this is the best camera for it. So you buy it, essentially you should get it with this Insta360 pole or any other pole, preferably not me, that you can use with this camera, basically any pole. And then you can just glide around and record your footage in 360. Then it looks pretty much like a drone hovering around you. The biggest downside with this camera is that you can scratch up the lenses, which I did here. So typically it's better to get it with a sort of like protection plan. And here, my Insta1 X that I had before, same issue. So it makes some pretty great footage. Maybe it's not as high resolution as a GoPro, you know, Hero camera, but it does catch every angle at any time when you're riding. So if you see anybody riding with a camera like this on a group ride, high chance it's a Insta360 ONE X2. So I have an affiliate link for that camera, so check it out below. You also support the channel when you use this camera. I got this also for free. This one for free from Insta360, and this one I bought myself before. And it costs around $300, $400, so it's quite a bit of an expense, but as I know from my friends that bought it, cheers Tadziu, they're really happy with it. Now we move on to more of the accessories that I have on my veteran Sherman. Number 7 on this list is this Arctic V3 light, or basically a light. Motorcycle Cree headlight technology parameters. I don't know really what this light is called. There is a link to a Aliexpress listing below. So I got it actually used here locally in Poland, and this light is really awesome because it doesn't blind others. So with the stock light of the Sherman, yes, it's pretty robust and probably even more robust than this one, but it just blinds others when you're riding in the night. And with this one, this has a totally different beam, and you can use it pretty well in your day-to-day and night-to-night scenarios in the city. So the cool thing about it is also, let's see, can I turn it on? Let's see. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Stop. Typically, if you buy this light or any other light with the Sherman, it shouldn't be above 20 watts per mode. So you have this mode and the other mode, which is usually the other one is the strobe. So 20 and 20 watts, you shouldn't go above that. Even if you buy a different light than this one, if it has like a nice beam, then it's worth it to get over the stock Sherman light. Also had to mod here a bit the mounting brackets, but this is something that I still need to upgrade in the future. So with this light, I have a LED ring, which is really awesome. Finally, I can go to the park, ride slowly and not annoy anyone. And it also has the main beam. And as you can see, I think it shouldn't blind you. And now, oh wait, just a bit higher, it should. But yeah, I can see actually on the camera that it shouldn't be blinding you. As you can see here, the beam is very broad and it's cut off from the top. Yeah, I think that's a really cool, oh now it probably blinded you for a second. It's a really cool investment for the veteran Sherman. And again, daytime running light too. It costs around $30, $40 on Aliexpress, so it's not that expensive, actually cheaper than the stock light of the Sherman. So if you've got a broken light on the Sherman, maybe you want to replace it with that. I don't know the longevity of this thing. I didn't use it for such a long time, but as it is for now, I love it. And sticking to the topic of lights, number 8 on the list is this Gaciron. Are you on? Yes. W10BS light. And this is a light you can use on pretty much all of your electric unicycles. The very cool thing about it is that it's activated by like movement. I know maybe mine is just a bit discharged. No, you're fine. Yeah, you're fine. It's activated by movement and it also has a brake function. That's really awesome. That's a game changer. It's so visible. It's much more visible than the stock light on the Sherman. And you pretty much forget that you have it on your wheel. It just turns on by itself. It turns off by itself. And it also has a light sensor. So now it's on, and if I cover the light sensor, it's blinking. But if it notices that it's very bright outside, then this usual blinking will turn off and only the brake function will be activated. It's really awesome. Sadly, I guess the only drawback is that you need to like screw it off and then you need to charge it because it's a separate thing on your EUC. And it has sadly USB, micro USB instead of USB-C. But nevertheless, if your electric unicycle has a pretty crappy taillight, this is the best light in my opinion that you can get for it. Price of this light is around, I think 30 bucks, something like that. For this pretty robust aluminum structure and the additional mounts, like here I have the handlebar mount, but there's also like a saddle mount, I think. I think that's a really good option. And still staying on the topic of lighting, ShredLights. Now, I also already did a video about ShredLights, so you can check that out in the link in the description. There's also an affiliate link and a discount code, I think 5%, 10% off, I think, your order. So these lights, especially the front lights, I use quite a bit. This is the SL1000. I typically put it with this GoPro mount onto my helmet. My helmet has a GoPro sticker on top, and that's pretty much the only helmet light I use. Sometimes I also put it on EUCs here in the front, like I do on the Kingsong S20, because the Kingsong S20 has just blinding lights in the front, really bad for nighttime use. And they also have this handlebar mount, so I can just easily put it on there. And they also have these SL300s, which are like blinky lights. You can see those are on El Unicycle's wheel, front and back. There's also some adhesive mounts you can put on the EUC if you want to mount them like directly here. All of them are now USB-C, really awesome. All of them are waterproof. They can also take a beating, so that's really nice. One flaw I have on the SL300, it's just really difficult to see the battery state. Typically, I need to turn them on, turn them off, and then I see if it's green inside or red, but I guess that's that. Typically, I also don't use this red light as a tail light because they're really blinding, really bright. Even the lowest brightness setting is very bright. But if you go on the street, I will put this onto my helmet, so cars will know that I'm there. Next thing on my list is what I have here, and this is the new Kinetic system by Nylonove, which is a set of side pads and actually also the foot plates. So the foot plates here have sort of like have teeth in here, and then this goes perfectly into the pad, so you can still close the pedal, which is really cool if you trolley the wheel around stores a lot, or if you just want to put it into a trunk or somewhere into a train. And even without this system, with this like bite system, what it's called, these pads are by far the best pads I've ever tried. So let me show you here. These pads are modular. This one. These pads are modular, so you can actually select what is the angle that you want on those pads. And yeah, it's just really awesome how, you know, customizable they are. Also with the back pad, you can do the same. They also have a bigger and smaller size for these. So if you have a smaller wheel, you can change, then you can buy a smaller size for the back pad. But those are just, will make you feel so good on the wheel. I really enjoy riding the Sherman now a lot more since I changed to those pads. When it comes to Nylonove foot plates, always a good recommendation. Best foot plates, in my opinion, on the market to get for your EUC. When it comes to price, I think the Nylonove are anywhere between like $200, $300. So it is a bit expensive. And by far the ones that I was using before the most were the torque pads. I'm not sure if they're still in business, but for a long time, this was my favorite. Now, this is by far my favorite. I will also do a side pad comparison in the future, also with the new Grizzla XL pads. Next up on the list are Foamy bits. I always forget what they're called, so I will just put down a subtitle or a title so you can see what they actually are. But putting those on, or just like cutting a bit of a yoga mat, does sometimes help a lot with the pain that you have when riding on EUCs, or just gives you just a bit more grip when riding on a veteran Sherman or any other wheel. So putting those on here, or I don't know, also just somewhere in the back to protect your EUC, is a cheap and nice way to improve your riding and make your EUC just a bit safer. The price of usually, I don't know, like 3 meters of Foamy bit is around like $10, $15, $20. So it's really a no-brainer. It's a good thing to get. Next up on the list are EUC stands. Now this one that I have here is a sort of custom made by my friend Michał, and I use it for a Sherman because the other 2 stands I have, which are roll-on stands, are being used by other wheels. So that's why I have this one here. I wanted to show you this one as well. So the stands are made by EUC Clubhouse. I have shown them in videos already before. They're adjustable, and you just roll your EUC onto it, you turn it off, and that's it. It's so simple. They also have a different version. They have a regular stand where you just lift the EUC and put it on there, and they're also adjustable with these knobs, so you can make it fit, you know, from a Kingsong 14D up to a, I don't know, Kingsong 16X or whatever wheel you have at home. There's also a XL version for taller wheels. It doesn't fit my V11 quite well. V11 has a stand anyways, but I guess for the Kingsong S18, this would be still all right. Now this Eco stand costs around €50, so it's not the cheapest, but I guess it's a pretty solid solution. And the UNLS, that's what it's called because I forgot it before, costs around €75 now because it's discounted. So it is quite a bit, but especially if you have like 2-3 EUCs, that's where the sort of the problem starts. And if you don't want to use upside down balcony flower pots like I was using for a long time and they just keep on breaking, and this is basically what you need. Number 13 on the list is a new tire. It's the Michelin City Pro 80/90/14. So this is a tire that fits pretty much on every EUC that is 18 or 20 inch, essentially with the 14-inch rim, like the Sherman, like the Bigot RS, like the Emotion V11. This is a tire that will fit on those EUCs, and it's really awesome. I gotta tell you, I was using the off-road tire for a long time on the Sherman, and even though, you know, for off-roading it's better, now I'm really enjoying it. It's quiet, it has tons of grip, and I can really lean on it. I will make a separate video on this tire, but it's really great. It's also a tube tire, so it fits with the tube tire setup that those EUCs have. It's, you know, it's always a hassle to change a tire on an EUC, but you have to do it anyway at some point, and why not change it to something really solid like this thing. And the City Pro is really awesome. I think Watt Rides can approve that as well. The price of this tire is around 50 euro. I think it's a good investment. Next up on the list, number 14, is a bell. So this is a mini XLC bell. There's also some bells that are just meant for like rollerbladers. I just tend to forget to ride with the bell, but when I do ride with it, I'm really happy because I can just easily notify people that are, I don't know, just walking casually on bicycle paths. So this is really cool. You can just put it on your finger. You can also put other bells on your finger. You don't have to necessarily have this one, but this is really an awesome accessory. You can also put it on your backpack or somewhere here on your motorcycle jacket. You can also use the bell function on darkness bought on the EUC World. You can connect those to your like smartwatch to activate the bell if you like tap once or twice on your smartwatch. Typically, I like the simpler solutions. I would just use this and it works great. The next thing I wanted to mention is a very recent purchase of mine. It's a couple days old, so it's not really a review yet, but I love those pants. These are Rev'it pants. They have hip protection, they have knee protection. This is all level 1, so all very like casual riding. I wouldn't say that it's good for like over 40 kilometers an hour. I think it's just great. And just for pants, I actually never had as comfortable pants as those before, especially that here on the bottom where the crotch is, there is an additional layer of material and it's elastic. So it's just really comfortable to sit, ride on it. And when you put them on, they don't look at all like motorcycle pants. They also have some reflectors here in the back, which is really cool. Yeah, they were pretty expensive at like $250, but gotta say that these are probably the best pants I've ever had, period. And they're also made out of Cordura, so this is a very durable material, very scratch resistant. Next up on my list is LazyRolling Gear. I already made, I think, 2 videos about the gear. This is what you typically see EUC riders on Instagram wearing and so on. Now this thing just looks great. Like there's no doubt about it. LazyRolling Gear is really, you know, tightly fit, almost too tightly sometimes. And I think it looks great when you are wearing it. This jacket also has, you know, reflectors here so you're better visible. But typically I just don't like the quality that much of their products because, for example, here I have the my zipper broke. Other than that, this jacket is actually pretty solid, but is it worth the price that they ask for on their site for like, I think 200 euro or something like that? I don't know really. They're very comfy to ride in, especially now I have those level 1 protectors here, but a level 2 back protector. So I do ride with this thing quite a lot. One thing that I'm missing here though is some chest protection. So that's that. I also have the black on black performance hoodie, and this thing is, you know, yeah, I already trashed it a bit before, so I won't do it again. It looks great, but the quality, you know, could be better. And this thing is not reflective at all unless you directly make a photo with a flash. You have to really be close with your eye to the source of light to make this reflective. And I also have the pants, which I've been using for a long time already. Now they look great as well. They're very slim, but this thing, I have always so much trouble to get those on and off. My foot just barely makes it every time, and those things don't stretch over time. The pockets here for the protector, totally ripped. Some areas here are also ripped, but they did protect me well when I had my crash recently at 55 kilometers an hour. So they do have a layer of Kevlar up to this point essentially, and they do protect you from falls pretty well actually. but I just don't have the sense of quality. This designed in Sweden, made in Bangladesh, you know, or no, made in Pakistan. Look great, great styling. Quality-wise, could be better. Not sure if it's worth the price. Moving on to more gear. This is the armor I typically use on EUC. It's the Alpinestars Bionic, I think V2. It has a chest protector and all of the protectors are well ventilated. Now, this material is also a bit abrasion resistant. I don't know how well actually in a crash. So typically in high-speed crashes, I would actually advise you to have a motorcycle jacket instead of this. But for lower speeds, this should be also fine. All of the things here are so well ventilated. It's really awesome for like summer riding. Now, it's also not that cheap. I think around 200, 300 euro. But in terms of like armor I've tried, this is my favorite. So Alpinestars Bionic, purchased myself. Alpinestars, hook me up because I love your stuff. Moving on, next piece of gear I have here is my Modeka jacket. Recently saved me from the 55 km/h fall. Modeka Viper LT, I love it, especially for colder conditions. Additional pocket here in the back, lots of pockets, level 2 protectors. Yeah, this thing is just solid. One thing I wish it would have is a zipper or like a elastic band around the bottom, because sometimes air is just like coming from the bottom and into the jacket. So yeah, you know, this is still a motorcycle jacket, it's not an EUC jacket. But other than that, I love the quality. I've been really happy with it. So yeah, if you want a sort of winter jacket and maybe early spring, autumn jacket, then yeah, this is pretty awesome. Also has some vents here in the back, vents in the front. It has layers, it has reflectors. Been using it a ton and still looks mighty decent. The next thing on the list is something that you'll probably see every electric unicycle rider riding with. It's the Leatt dual axis knee pads. They're great. They saved me many times, as you can see. Really solid, and yeah, I have pretty much no problems with them whatsoever. One thing I just changed is that here I drilled an additional hole. Thanks Marty back for the tip. And now they just fall down a bit less on my pants. Now, typically you should wear them on your skin, but you know, in the reality, we just all wear them on pants. So just make sure you put them on tight. They cost around like 80 bucks, something like that. Not too bad. And I mean, this is the go-to choice when it comes to electric unicycle riding. Now, if you want to have even more protection, there are braces that you can buy. But I never tried them, so I can't really tell you if it's any good or not. Number 20 on the list, and also a very recent addition, are these Broger shoes. It's a Polish company, and they make typically gear for motorcycle riders, for like choppers and stuff. But this shoe is pretty awesome because it has a nice sole for more grip on your EUC, and the front is also not too slanted, so it's still comfortable to ride. There's protection here over your toes, on your heels, and overall this shoe, well, it's not the most stable one. I'm sure you can get some more stable shoes from Alpinestars, or you know, post your comments below. But this is for me like the optimum. Not too much of a motorcycle shoe, but also not a regular shoe where you have just pretty much no protection here on your toes. Toes, really important. I think I broke my toes twice on EUC. Maybe once. I can't bend my left toe that well as my right one. So this is very important, and they're also really easy to put on with this zipper on the side. So these shoes really awesome for around 100 euros, something like that. Can't go wrong with them, really. And the last thing on my list is Polish product, Srogi płyn do czyszczenia. Just some cleaning supply for your EUC. I guess, you know, they sent it to me for free, and the shoes I bought myself, to check out. I think it works well. Is it any better on than any other regular cleaning supply? I don't know, but it's worked well. I thought I would just mention it because it's a product, especially for PVs, so I thought that's kind of cool. Also got it with some microfiber cloth and like a rubber the bubber. So that's cool. And yeah, with that said, I think those are the 21 things. So let me know what products you have as an electric unicycle rider. Let me know what you want to get. And if you're still here, leave a like on the video, subscribe to see more content like this. I'll see you in the next video. See you soon.